Stop for a second and think about the last time you looked at a board and felt excited. Not, I can use this. Not, it's fine. I mean truly excited, like the grain had personality and you just wanted to understand it. Now here's what happens to a lot of makers: the excitement gets replaced by decisions. And then decisions get replaced by additions. And then additions pile up, until the project feels like it's trying to be everything at once. Today, I want to talk about the beauty of wood, without overdesign, and I want to say this in the most practical way possible: how to keep your process aligned with the material, so your work feels calm, intentional, and genuinely crafted. Not overcomplicated. Not over-decorated. Just right. Promise of value. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear approach you can use the next time you're planning a build. 1. How to let grain guide you. 2. How to avoid the add more trap. 3. How to choose finishing decisions that support the wood's character. And 4. How to recover when a design starts feeling busy. And yes, this will be narrated with the making process in mind. We're not chasing perfect. We're chasing honest wood. Part 1. Why wood looks beautiful in the first place. Wood is beautiful because it's layered. The color changes aren't random, there's structure. The grain isn't decoration, it's a map of growth. And even the surface has a kind of texture that responds to light. When you overdesign, what you're actually doing is forcing the wood to compete with your choices. You're trying to add meaning on top of the meaning already present. So before any sketch, before any extra detail, I want you to do one quick thing. Look at the board and decide what you want it to feel like. Do you want it to feel warm and steady? Do you want it to feel lively and energetic? Or do you want it to feel quiet, like the grain is present but not demanding attention? If you can define the mood, your design choices become much easier. Because your design stops being random, and starts being supportive. Part 2. Grain is not just pretty, it's composition. Let's talk about grain direction. This is one of the most powerful design tools you have, and it's also one of the easiest to ignore, because it doesn't feel like a feature the way a carved detail does. But grain direction controls how your eye moves. It controls the sense of flow. It controls how light behaves across surfaces. Here's a simple approach. When you're thinking about layout, don't just ask, which side looks nicest. Ask, where should the grain lead my eye next? If the grain flows smoothly across the project, the piece feels natural, even if you keep the design minimal. If the grain abruptly fights itself because the pieces are oriented against each other, the project can start to feel busy, even when you didn't add many details. So alignment matters. Proportion matters. And yes, orientation matters. Have you ever seen two boards of the same species, but one looked dramatically more premium than the other? Often it's not the type of wood, it's the way the grain was respected. Part 3. The overdesign trap and how it starts. Explain the trap clearly. Overdesign doesn't usually start with something huge. It starts with small impulses. Like, maybe I should add a groove, maybe I should add a contrast line, maybe I should make this edge more decorative, maybe one more step will make it special. Here's the problem, each extra design move creates another point of attention. Not always on purpose, sometimes it's accidental. And wood is already naturally complex. It already has contrast, texture, and depth. When you add more complexity on top, the viewer's eye doesn't rest. It keeps searching. That searching feeling is often the sign that overdesign is happening. Strong encouragement. So when you catch yourself adding detail, pause and ask, does this addition help the wood feel clearer, or does it make the wood harder to read? Because your goal is not to create something that looks complicated. Your goal is to create something that feels understood. Part 4. A simpler design framework that still feels impressive. Give a repeatable method. Let me give you a framework you can use right away. It's simple, but it works because it forces clarity. Step 1. Choose a single hero element. That hero element might be the grain movement, or it might be the surface texture, or it might be the way light catches an edge. The key is, only one hero. Step 2. Support it, don't compete with it. Everything else should make the hero element look better, not more chaotic. Step 3. Unify your decisions. If you choose crisp lines, keep your design language crisp. If you choose soft edges, keep them soft. If you choose a natural, low-contrast finish, don't suddenly add a high-contrast accent that screams for attention. This is where restraint becomes high-end. Not because you're afraid to add things, because you're confident enough to choose what matters. Engagement. Try this in your next planning session. For every design idea you add, ask, what is this replacing? If it doesn't replace anything, if it only adds, then you're probably stacking details. Part 5. Finishing decisions are design decisions. Finish as core topic. Now let's talk finishing. Finishing is where many people accidentally overdesign, because finishing can either reveal wood character, or cover it. Think of finish as a lens. It changes how the wood is perceived. A finish can enhance depth, highlight grain contrast, and make texture feel richer. Or it can flatten the surface, making everything look like one uniform color. So rather than treating finish like a final coat, treat it like a design choice that must match your restraint. Here are a few questions to guide you. Does the finish emphasize the grain's movement, or does it mute it? Does it keep the wood looking warm and natural, or does it push it toward manufactured uniformity? Under light from different angles, does the surface stay interesting in a calm way? Because wood beauty is often about subtle changes. The kind you notice when you're not rushing. Part 6. Making without adding just because. Process talk. During the making process, the temptation is to correct design uncertainty by adding complexity. But you can correct uncertainty by returning to fundamentals. Clean transitions where parts meet. Thoughtful sanding that makes the surface ready to accept finish. Edges that feel intentional, neither sharp for the sake of sharpness nor softened beyond usefulness. Alignment and proportion so the work looks like it belongs together. When you do those basics well, you don't need decorative overload. Craft shows up in the accuracy and the calmness. Part 7. The recovery step when your project feels too busy. Reset plan. Let's say you've already started and your project begins to feel cluttered. Don't panic. Overdesign isn't always fatal. You can recover. Here's a simple recovery plan. 1. Identify what area the eye keeps returning to unnecessarily. 2. Remove one competing design choice, just one. 3. Reduce contrast in the area that's fighting the wood. Sometimes it's the finish. Sometimes it's a detail. 4. Recheck alignment and flow. Often the busy feeling comes from composition problems, not from a specific decorative element. And after that, test under real lighting. Wood looks different in different conditions, and design decisions that feel right in your shop might look loud under home lighting. So test, observe, and adjust. So today's message is simple: wood is beautiful without overdesign. The wood's character is already there. Your job is to frame it with restraint. Let grain guide composition. Choose fewer design moves that support clarity. Treat finishing as a design language, not a disguise. And when a build starts feeling busy, recover by removing competition, not by adding more. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. Your support genuinely helps Crafted Wood Studio reach more people who love honest making. If this idea of less design, more wood would help someone you know, share the video with them. Sometimes one mindset shift is all it takes to unlock better projects. And if you want more woodworking process, grain-focused thinking, and workshop reflection from Crafted Wood Studio, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next build. Thanks for watching. Keep your designs calm, keep your choices intentional, and let the wood do what it does best. See you in the next video.